Morning folks, Jer here on Wednesday morning with the news. We're also going to do a little bit of a match preview as well. There's really not a whole lot going on, so we'll fly through this and then we'll get into the match preview stuff for the game against Leicester coming up on Thursday. U21s played last night, not Thursday, Tuesday. I said Thursday in yesterday's video. I meant Tuesday, I'm sorry. They played last night and lost 3-0 to Bolton in the Papa John's Trophy. A really good first half from the team, but they found themselves a goal behind. Sean McGurk had a really good chance to score as well to make it 1-1. Just struggled to get a hold of the game. Very experienced Bolton side. Looked after the ball really, really well. Leeds struggled to really get any kind of foothold in the game and put any kind of possession together. But a 3-0 defeat doesn't mean they're out of the Papa John's just yet. They still have a game coming up against Crewe. If they win that game, Crewe are bottom of their group. If they win that game, they will qualify for the next rounds of the trophy, which would be fantastic. It'd be a huge achievement for them. No Nanto, Somerville or Gelhardt in last night's lineup, and they look to struggle in the middle of the park as well. Darko JB had a decent game. Sonny Perkins also had a decent game, but nothing spectacular. They didn't create a huge amount of chances. Interesting to see the three guys left out of the squad. We would assume all three will be involved in the matchday squad then for Thursday night, even though Willie Nanto didn't make the 18 last weekend. So it'll be interesting to see who makes the bench and who doesn't make the bench this week. Competition for places, it's good. It's good, but people are going to miss out. It's unfortunate. The press conference for today's game is at 2:45 today, so we're going to cover some of the details that's floating around beforehand, and we'll get to them in a couple of minutes. Looking at transfers that are incoming, Leon King, we mentioned him yesterday, we mentioned him a couple of weeks ago. Conversations around him this morning, attracting interest from across Europe now. Leeds and Manchester United, as well as Newcastle, have said they've been monitoring the Rangers centre-back, who has played in every single Champions League game that they've played this year. Giovanni van Bronckhorst is putting a lot of faith in the kid. It is now said that Eintracht Frankfurt and Bayer Leverkusen are also said to be monitoring the situation and are very keen to bring the centre-half. He has impressed them with his maturity for an 18-year-old in the Champions League this year. He does have a contract till 2024, so there's only 2 years left on it, so it's down to alert teams that have Rangers want to get any kind of a fee for him. It's got to be this year they're going to sell him, so will teams move in January for him? Will they wait until the end of the season? It'd be an interesting one. If he does go to Leeds, he's definitely a centre-back that doesn't go into the starting lineup. He probably goes into the U21s. I heard Paul Robinson talk about that yesterday, but we'll wait and see what happens there. Moving on to players that have been linked with Leeds and are not coming to Leeds. Cody Gakpo this morning, and Tom Allnut from the Times Sport has conducted an interview with Gakpo. He describes himself basically as a tall winger. He was only became a winger at the age of 15, but now he's moving more and more inside, and he's keeping track on Neymar and Haaland's European goals total he is chasing himself currently in the Eredivisie. He said that he was close to leaving in the summer transfer window, that when Manchester United came calling, that was a move that he was interested in. He said he spoke to Erik ten Hag on a couple of occasions, but in the end the deal didn't get done, and he said the deal died about a week before the transfer window closed, and he said it was a real shame as he sees Manchester United as a big club. He said he then had a week to consider his options, and Leeds and Southampton were the two clubs that were interested in him, and he had to decide whether he wanted to go to Leeds or Southampton, and had a bit of a week to decide of it. In the end, he decided he was going to stay put. And he said he described the whole week as a very stressful week for him. We know since then that Gakpo has also said that his desire to come to Leeds is not there, and he'll probably hang on where he is or look for a move to Manchester United in January. So that's the rationale and the reasoning behind Gakpo. He wants to go to Manchester United. So off you go, Cody. Looking ahead then to the game. See, I told you it was a short one today. I really did. Looking ahead to the game tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Looking ahead to the game on Thursday. Leeds against Leicester. Leicester missing quite a number of players. James Maddison is suspended for the game. That is good news for Leeds, but he's not on his own. Johnny Evans is missing out with a calf injury. Wilfred Ndidi is out with a hamstring injury. Pereira has an Achilles problem, and Ryan Bertrand has a knee problem. They're missing 6 first-team players going into the game against Leeds. Daniel Amati is likely to come in to replace Johnny Evans, but there is a doubt over Soyuncu as well, another centre-back problem. They have conceded more goals than any other team in the Premier League this season. Their form guide over the last 5 games is a loss, win, loss, draw. They've got 1 win, which came against Nottingham Forest, and a 4-0 win. Leeds' form, we all know what that's like: a draw, a loss, a draw, 2 points in their last 5 games, where Leicester picked up 4. You would still say going to this game, Leeds sitting 15th in the table, Leicester 20th, you'd still say that Leeds are favourites for this. Leicester have conceded a lot of goals to a lot of teams quite easily. 2 to Bournemouth, they've conceded 6 against Tottenham, and 5 against Brighton as well. So they've conceded quite a lot of goals from quite a lot of clubs. And you would imagine that Leeds' style of play will give us chances in that game at the very least. Leeds going to that game, as I said, Gnonto, Gelhardt and Somerville didn't take part in the U21s game, which would make them available for Thursday night. No other injury news as of yet from Leeds. So Leeds should be going into it strong. If we can take the performance from the weekend and the patches in the first half against Crystal Palace and the Chelsea game and bring that into this game, we could get a win. I think from the next 2 games, and I've said it, between the Leicester game and the Fulham game, Leeds need to pick up minimum of 4 points. And I think this is a real good chance to go and try and get 3. Leicester at home, where they are in the league, will not sit back and park the bus. They will try and come out and play. Brendan Rodgers has a style and an ethos of football that he likes to play, and I would imagine he'll try and play that. That might help Leeds. They're missing quite a number of players. Big question for Leeds is it Bamford, is it Rodrigo, or is it Gelhardt or Gnonto? I think it's probably going to be Bamford, if I'm being honest. And we did say today that the issue with the Bamford chances that he's missed is a twofold problem, because we get those chances because Patrick Bamford makes those kind of runs no other striker in the club does. So you create a lot of chances having Bamford there. Problem is he struggles to take a lot of them. So fingers crossed Thursday night is when that fixes itself. So there you go, folks. That is your news and a very short match preview for Thursday night. The press conference, as I said, is at 2:45 today. So if you want to catch that, you get it on YouTube or you can get it on Facebook as well. Cool. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.